My dad refused to pay for my college, so I built a company that could buy his. They say education is the key to success, but my father had a different philosophy. If you want something, earn it yourself. When my college acceptance letter arrived from State University, I ran to show him with tears of joy in my eyes. His response? College is wasted on people who don't appreciate the value of hard work. I'm not paying for it. Just like that, my dreams shattered. But here's what he didn't know. While he was busy teaching me about earning things myself, I was about to take that lesson further than he ever imagined. This is the story of how a father's refusal became my catalyst, how student loans became my classroom, how a dorm room side hustle became a six-figure business, and how the man who said college was wasted on me eventually stood in my office realizing my company was worth more than his entire operation. He refused to pay for my education. So I built an empire that could buy his business outright. He wanted to teach me about earning things myself. Mission accomplished, Dad. Just not the way you expected. Hey everyone! Before we dive into today's story, let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. Drop your city or country. We love connecting with our global community. If you're enjoying our content, please hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our amazing stories. Share this with friends who proved their doubters wrong. Now, let's get into Alex's incredible journey. I'm sitting at the kitchen table holding my acceptance letter from State University, hands shaking with excitement, when my dad walks in from his home office. Robert Carter, owner of Carter Manufacturing, a mid-sized machine parts company he built from the ground up. Self-made. Successful. Proud of never needing anyone's help. Dad, it came! I got in! I slide the letter across the table. He picks it up, reads it without expression, then sets it down. Congratulations. That'll be about $30,000 a year for tuition, room and board. I know it's expensive, but we talked about this. You said we'd figure it out when the time came. We did figure it out. You'll figure it out. On your own. My stomach drops. What? I'm not paying for college, Alex. Not $1. But you told me to focus on grades, that good grades would. I told you education matters. I didn't promise to pay for it. He stands up, heading back to his office. College is wasted on kids who don't understand the value of hard work. You want it? Earn it yourself like I earned everything I have. Dad, I can't afford. Then you'll learn what real motivation is. Student loans exist. Part-time jobs exist. Or don't go. Your choice. He closes his office door. I sit alone at the kitchen table, staring at the acceptance letter that suddenly feels worthless in my hands. That night, my mother tries to mediate. Your father he's just traditional. He thinks struggling makes you stronger. He's punishing me for getting accepted to college. He's not punishing you. He's teaching you independence. By making it impossible for me to go. She sighs. I have some savings. Not much, but maybe enough for first semester. Don't. My dad's voice from the doorway. If you give him money, you're undermining everything I'm trying to teach him. Robert, he's our son. Which is exactly why he needs to learn this lesson. Nobody handed me anything. I worked construction during the day and went to community college at night. Took me 6 years to get my degree. It made me who I am. Times are different now. Tuition is. Then he'll have to work harder. That's life. He looks at me. You have 4 months until fall semester. Figure it out or don't go. Your decision. He leaves. My mother looks at me helplessly. I'm sorry, Alex. I go to my room and start researching student loans, scholarships, work-study programs, anything that might make this possible. I take out $28,000 in student loans for my first year. The number makes me nauseous, but it's the only way. I'd also get a campus job in the library. $12 an hour, 20 hours a week. It covers books and some food. My dad drives me to campus move-in day. The entire ride is silent except for his occasional comments about making smart choices and not wasting this opportunity you're paying for. At my dorm, he helps me carry boxes up 3 flights of stairs, then shakes my hand. Good luck. You're going to need it. He drives away while other parents are crying and hugging their kids goodbye. My roommate Jake's parents take us both to dinner that night. They ask about my family. My dad had to work, I say, which is technically true. I work the library job, attend classes, study until 2 a.m. most nights. The loan debt hangs over me constantly. During Thanksgiving break, I come home to find my dad hosting a party for his business partners. This is my son Alex, he introduces me. First one in our family to go to a 4-year university. All on his own dime. No handouts. His friends nod approvingly. Building character, one says. That's the problem with kids today, another adds. Parents do everything for them. Your son's learning the right way. I smile politely and excuse myself. In my childhood bedroom, I feel something shift inside me. Not anger. Determination. He wants me to do this on my own? Fine. But I won't just graduate. I'll build something he can't ignore. Spring semester of freshman year, I meet Sophie Chin in my business fundamentals class. She's a junior with an entrepreneurial streak. She launches a small campus business during spring break, custom t-shirts for Greek organizations and sports teams. Heat press operation in her dorm room, designs made in Photoshop, orders taken through Instagram DMs. Within 2 weeks, she's drowning in orders. Alex, you're good with design, right? She asks after class one day. I need help. I have 40 orders due by Friday and I'm losing my mind. I can barely use Photoshop. You can learn. I'll pay you $15 an hour. Please. I'm desperate. I need the money. Library job pays minimum wage. This is better. I spend that weekend learning Adobe Illustrator through YouTube tutorials, helping Sophie design logos for 3 fraternities, 2 sororities, and an intramural basketball team. We work until 3 a.m. pressing shirts. My hands smell like heat transfer vinyl. But when we finish and Sophie hands me $120 cash, I feel something I haven't felt since arriving at college: possibility. Over the next month, I'm not just designing anymore. I'm researching wholesale blank shirt suppliers, calculating profit margins, suggesting pricing strategies, building a simple spreadsheet to track orders and expenses. What if we expanded to other campuses? I asked during one of our late-night production sessions. My friend from high school goes to State West. I bet the Greek organizations would buy too. We could set up an actual online store instead of just Instagram. Sophie stops pressing a shirt and looks at me. That's actually brilliant. We could scale this. If we partner up. Split it 50-50. Build it properly. She considers for a long moment. You really think this could work? I think we're sitting on something bigger than dorm room t-shirts. I should focus on my classes. On my library job. On not drowning in the $28,000 debt I took on for this year alone. Instead, I extend my hand. Partners? Sophie shakes it. Partners. We call it Campus Threads. Simple name. Simple concept. Custom apparel for college students. We invest $800 each, my entire savings from the library job, and set up a basic website. First month, 3 orders. Second month, 12 orders. Third month, 47 orders. We're working until 3 a.m. printing shirts in Sophie's dorm, shipping packages, managing customer service. My grades slip from A's to B's. I'm exhausted constantly. But the business is growing. Summer break, I don't go home. I stay on campus, subletting a cheap room, running campus threads full-time with Sophie. We hire 2 other students to help with production. We expand to 5 neighboring universities. My dad calls once. "When are you coming home?" "I'm working. Building the business." "What business?" "Custom apparel for college students. It's actually doing pretty well." "Focus on your degree, Alex. Side hustles are fine, but don't lose sight of why you're there." "I know why I'm there." "Do you?" I hang up before he can respond. By fall of sophomore year, Campus Threads is generating $15,000 a month in revenue. After costs, Sophie and I each clear about $3,000 monthly. I pay off my first-year loans completely. Take out smaller loans for year 2 since I'm earning now. But I realize something: the business has more potential than we're accessing. We should incorporate, I tell Sophie. Bring on investors. Scale nationally. That's a lot. I just wanted to make some extra money for college. We could make this a real company. Hire a real team. Go beyond college markets. She thinks about it for a week, then says, "I'm out." "Take it. It's yours. I just want to focus on school." She sells me her half for $10,000. Now I own 100% of Campus Threads. I make the decision at the end of sophomore year after weeks of impossible juggling. Campus Threads is generating $40,000 in monthly revenue. After costs and paying my small team, I'm personally clearing about $12,000 a month. Meanwhile, my classes are suffering. I'm missing lectures to handle customer emergencies. Turning in assignments late because I was up until 4 a.m. fulfilling orders. My GPA has dropped to 2.7. The breaking point comes during finals week when I have to choose between studying for my economics exam or flying to meet a potential investor who wants to put $200,000 into the business. I choose the investor. I fail the economics exam, but I secure the investment. Sitting in my apartment that night, looking at spreadsheets showing exponential growth projections, I realize something. College is supposed to prepare me for the career I want. But I already have the career I want. The business is my education now. More valuable than any lecture. I officially withdraw from State University in May. My mother calls crying. "Alex, please don't do this. You're so close to finishing." "I'm 2 years in, Mom." Not close to finishing. And the business needs me full-time, or it'll collapse. "What about your loans?" "I've already paid off year 1 completely. I'm paying year 2 aggressively. The business covers it." "Your father is going to lose his mind." "Good. Maybe he'll finally pay attention." My dad finds out 2 days later. Doesn't call. Doesn't text. He shows up at my apartment unannounced on a Wednesday afternoon. I open the door to find him standing there, jaw clenched, face red. "You dropped out." Not a question. An accusation? "Yeah. I did." "After everything? After I let you take on all that debt to learn responsibility, to earn your degree yourself, you just quit?" "I didn't quit anything. I pivoted. The business is doing $40,000 a month. I can't manage that and classes. Something had to give." He pushes past me into my apartment, looking around at the chaos. 3 computer monitors displaying order dashboards, inventory boxes stacked along every wall, a whiteboard covered in shipping schedules and production timelines. "You're throwing away your education for t-shirts?" The disdain in his voice is thick. "I'm building a 7-figure business. The education can wait. This isn't sustainable. You're 20 years old playing businessman. You'll crash and burn within a year, realize you need that degree, and come crawling back. Maybe. Or maybe I'll prove that your way isn't the only way. My way got me a successful business that's lasted 30 years. Your way also left me with $28,000 in debt at 18 years old. Forgive me if I'm not rushing to follow your blueprint. His face goes even redder. I taught you independence. You taught me I couldn't rely on you. That's not the same thing. I stand straighter, meeting his eyes. I'm doing this. With or without your approval. Just like I did college without your financial support. When this fails, and it will fail, don't come asking me for money. I never asked for your money, Dad. Not once. And I'm not going to start now. He stares at me for a long moment, then shakes his head. You're making the biggest mistake of your life. Then it's my mistake to make. He leaves, slamming the door hard enough that something falls off my desk. I stand there shaking, not from fear, from adrenaline. Then I sit down and get back to work. If I'm going to prove him wrong, I need to make this business undeniable. I hire a small team. A marketing specialist. A production manager. A customer service coordinator. We move from my apartment to a small warehouse space. Campus Threads expands to 30 universities. Then 50. Then 100. Revenue hits $150,000 a month. I'm 20 years old running a business with 12 employees. I don't hear from my dad for 8 months. An investor named Patricia Morgan reaches out after seeing our growth metrics. I want to invest $500,000 for 20% equity. I negotiate her down to 15% and accept. With her capital, we expand nationally. Build a better website. Hire a professional design team. Launch a mobile app. Revenue triples within 6 months. Loving the story so far? Drop a comment with your location. Are you watching from Boston, Seoul, Rio de Janeiro, or somewhere else? We read every single one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you're rooting for Alex, and share this with someone who's building against the odds. Turn on notifications so you never miss these incredible stories. Now, back to the action. Campus Threads hits $2 million in annual revenue. A business magazine does a feature. 20-year-old dropout builds $1 million apparel empire. My dad sees it. He calls. I saw the article. Yeah? It's impressive. Really impressive. I wait for the But you should finish your degree. This could all disappear tomorrow. You need the backup. I don't need a backup. I need to keep building. Alex, I'm trying to help you. You didn't help me when I needed it. Don't start now. I hang up. We rebrand from Campus Threads to Threadline, expanding beyond college markets into lifestyle apparel for young professionals. The pivot is risky but necessary. College market is seasonal and limited. It works. Within a year, Threadline is in 200 retail locations. Our online sales hit $800,000 monthly. I'm 22. The company is valued at $15 million. My dad's manufacturing company hits rough times. I hear through my mom that they lost a major contract, had to lay off staff. He doesn't call to tell me. Too proud. I consider reaching out. Then remember him saying, "Figure it out yourself." I keep building Threadline instead. The Series A investment round changes everything. After months of pitching to venture capital firms, dealing with term sheets, negotiating equity percentages, we closed on $5 million in funding from Apex Ventures. The press release goes out on a Tuesday morning. Threadline raises $5 million Series A to revolutionize direct-to-consumer apparel. The company valuation hits $25 million. I own 70% after dilution from the investor rounds. On paper, my net worth is $17.5 million. I'm 23 years old. I sit in my new office. Actual office in a real building, not a warehouse, staring at the Forbes article that comes out 2 weeks later. The dropout who built what his father said was impossible, reads the headline. The journalist, a woman named Miranda Chen, interviewed me for 3 hours. She asked about my background, my journey, my motivation. And she asked about my father. I could have lied. Could have painted it nicely. Could have said he was supportive but wanted me to work hard. Instead, I told the truth. My father refused to pay for my college education. He told me if I wanted it, I had to earn it myself. So I took out $28,000 in student loans my first year, worked multiple jobs, and eventually started a business that made more sense than finishing my degree. Do you resent him for that? I resent that he framed refusal as teaching. That he watched me struggle and called it character building. That he had the means to help but chose philosophy over support. But would you be where you are without that struggle? I'd be somewhere different. Maybe better. Maybe worse. But I'd probably still have a relationship with my father. The article frames my dad's refusal as inadvertent motivation. Harsh fuel that powered extraordinary success. Some readers call it inspiring. Others call it cruel parenting. My dad calls it defamation. He phones me 3 days after the article publishes, voice shaking with rage. You made me sound like a villain. Like I abandoned you. I told the truth about what happened. You made it sound like I didn't care. Like I wanted you to fail. Didn't you? Weren't you teaching me a lesson about how hard you had it? I was teaching you resilience. You taught me that I couldn't rely on you. Mission accomplished. I built a $25 million company without your help, without your money, without your belief. The journalist asked what motivated me, and the honest answer was proving you wrong. Silence on the line. You've turned into someone I don't recognize, he finally says. Good. Because the person you knew was the broke kid begging for help. This person doesn't beg. This person builds. He hangs up. I sit in my office looking at the framed Forbes cover on my wall. Later that week, my mother calls. Your father is devastated. He's devastated that he looks bad. Not that he was wrong. He's your father, Alex. He loves you. Love supports. Love helps. What he did was teach me that I'm alone. And I learned that lesson perfectly. I don't hear from my dad again for 8 months. Threadline continues growing. We're at $30 million annual revenue. Meanwhile, Carter Manufacturing is struggling. My mom tells me they might have to sell. Your father is too stubborn to ask for help, she says. He taught me to figure things out myself. He should take his own advice. Alex, he's still your father. Is he? Because fathers support their kids. He gave me debt and disapproval. She's quiet. He regrets it, you know. He just won't say it. Then he can live with his regret. Like I lived with my loans. The acquisition offer comes from Ventureware, a major corporation looking to expand their direct-to-consumer portfolio. Their initial offer, $60 million for Threadline, complete buyout. I'm sitting across from their acquisition team in a conference room with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. 5 executives in expensive suits. My lawyer. My CFO. And me, 24 years old, about to negotiate the biggest deal of my life. $60 million is generous, their lead negotiator says. For a company your age, your revenue, this is a premium offer. It's below market, I counter. Your competitor offered $68 million last month. I turned them down too. He raises an eyebrow. Why turn down $68 million? Because Threadline is worth more than you're offering. Our growth rate is 300% year over year. Our customer retention is 78%. Our brand equity among 18 to 35-year-olds is higher than brands that have been around for decades. You're not buying current revenue. You're buying trajectory. We negotiate for 3 weeks. They come back with $67 million. I counter with $80 million. We settle at $75 million. The deal closes on a Friday in October. I sign 47 pages of documents, shake hands with executives who'll run the company now, and walk out a very wealthy person. After taxes, legal fees, and investor payouts, I personally net $38 million. $38 million. I'm 24 years old. I sit in my car in the parking garage for 20 minutes, just processing. 4 years ago, I was taking out loans to afford textbooks. My father was telling me I'd fail without his help. Now I have more money than I know what to do with. The first thing I do, before buying anything, before celebrating, is wire money to pay off my mother's mortgage. $340,000. I do it anonymously through my lawyer so she doesn't know it's from me. She calls me crying 3 days later. Someone paid off our mortgage. The bank won't say who. Was it you? Why would you think it's me? Because you're the only person I know with that kind of money now. Alex, you didn't have to. I didn't do anything, Mom. Maybe it was a bank error. She doesn't believe me, but she doesn't push. The second thing I do is start looking at investment opportunities. Real estate. Tech startups. And something else, manufacturing companies. Specifically, companies that compete with Carter Manufacturing. I tell myself it's just good business. Manufacturing is profitable if run efficiently. It's a smart portfolio diversification. But I'd be lying if I said there wasn't some satisfaction in the idea of competing in my father's industry. Of beating him at his own game. Carter Manufacturing officially goes on the market. They're asking $12 million but will likely take less. The business is solid fundamentally, just mismanaged, outdated, stubborn leadership. I could buy it outright. Turn it around. Prove a point. But that feels petty. Instead, I'd buy a competing manufacturing company for $8 million. Modernize it. Make it profitable. Within a year, we're taking contracts Carter Manufacturing used to have. My dad calls, furious. You're sabotaging my business. I'm competing fairly. Isn't that capitalism? What you always preached? You're doing this to hurt me. No, Dad. I'm doing this because it's a good investment. Your feelings aren't part of my business calculations. You taught me that too, business isn't personal. This is personal and you know it. Then maybe you should have thought about that before making my education personal instead of paternal. Carter Manufacturing sells to a private equity firm for $7 million. My dad stays on as a consultant for 1 year, then gets pushed out. He's 58, semi-retired, and bitter. I'm 25, running multiple companies, and thriving. We don't speak for 2 years. The call comes at 3 a.m. My mother's voice, shaky and scared. Alex, I'm in the hospital. They found something. It's cancer. I'm on a plane 6 hours later. Stage 3 breast cancer. Aggressive. Treatable, but it'll require surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. The whole brutal process. I meet with her oncologist immediately. What's the best treatment plan, regardless of cost? Well, insurance will cover standard treatment, but there are experimental therapies. I don't care about cost. I want the absolute best chance of survival. What do? We set up treatment at a specialized cancer center. The best oncologist in the region. Private rooms. Every possible advantage. The bills will run close to $400,000 over 6 months. I don't even blink. My dad is at the hospital when I arrive for my mom's pre-surgery consultation. We haven't spoken in 2 years. Haven't been in the same room in longer. He looks older, grayer, tired. We sit in the waiting room during her surgery, 6 hours of them removing the tumors, checking lymph nodes, reconstructing tissue. For the first 2 hours, we don't speak. Just sit with magazines either of us is reading. Around hour 3, he breaks the silence. Thank you? I look at him. For what? For being here. For paying for the treatment. For. His voice cracks. For taking care of her when I can't afford to. The admission costs him. I can see it in his face. She's my mom. Of course I'm here. I know. But still. Thank you? We sit in silence again. Around hour 5, he speaks again. I wasn't a good father to you. During college. After. Hell, probably before too. I don't respond. Just wait. I thought I was teaching you strength. Independence. The things my father taught me by making me work for everything. But I see now I was punishing you for having opportunities one didn't have. For wanting a path I never took. Yeah. You were. When you asked for help with college, it felt like you were asking for the easy way. And I resented that. Because I did it the hard way. So I made you do it the hard way too. You didn't just make me do it the hard way, Dad. You actively made it harder. You watched me struggle and called it character building. You had the money to help and chose not to. That's not teaching. That's cruelty disguised as philosophy. He's quiet for a long moment. I know. I see that now. And I've been watching you build these companies, achieve these things, and all I can think is, you did all of that without me. In spite of me? Yeah. I did. I'm proud of you, Alex. I know I never said it. I know I criticized and doubted and I was wrong. About all of it. It's the closest he's ever come to apologizing. I should feel triumphant. Vindicated. Instead, I just feel tired. I needed to hear that 10 years ago, Dad. When I was drowning in debt and working 3 jobs and you were telling me I'd fail. That's when I needed you to believe in me. I know. I can't take that back. I wish I could, but I can't. We sit in silence until the surgeon comes out and tells us the surgery went well, they got all the visible cancer, prognosis is good. My mother wakes up groggy and reaching for both of us. We each take one of her hands. And for the first time in years, we're something resembling a family again. Broken, complicated, with years of damage between us. But present. Together. Trying. My mother survives. The treatment works. During her recovery, my dad and I have real conversations for the first time in years. He tells me about building Carter Manufacturing from nothing. The pride. The fear. The pressure. When you wanted to go to college, I saw you taking the easy path. Not struggling like I did. It felt wrong to me. Like you wouldn't appreciate it. So you made me struggle your way instead of supporting my way. Yes. And I miss watching you build something incredible because I was too stubborn to see it wasn't about my way or your way. It was about you finding your way. It's the closest he's ever come to apologizing. A year later, I'm speaking at a business conference about entrepreneurship and education. I talk about my journey. The loans. The dropout decision. The success. Someone asks, "What about your father? Did he ever come around?" He did. Eventually. But it took me building something undeniable first. After the speech, I find my dad in the audience. I didn't know he was coming. You came? I wanted to hear your story. The real version, not through magazines. And? I'm proud of you. I should have said that 10 years ago. I'm sorry I didn't. We rebuild our relationship slowly. Dinners. Phone calls. Actual conversations. He visits my companies, sees what I built, meets my teams. One day, touring my manufacturing facility. The one that took his old contracts, he says quietly. This is better than what I built. More innovative. More efficient. More humane. You taught me what not to do. I deserve that. He pauses. Can I ask you something? Sure. If you could go back, knowing everything now, would you have wanted me to pay for college? I think about it carefully. No. Because then I would have followed the path you set. I needed to build my own path. I just wish you'd supported the journey instead of making it harder. He nods slowly. That's fair. Years later, I'm 30. My companies are worth over $200 million combined. I finally go back and finish my degree, online, part-time, because I can. At my graduation, my dad is in the front row. My mom next to him. When I cross the stage, he stands and applauds louder than anyone. After the ceremony, he hands me an envelope. Inside is a check for $30,000. What's this? Your first year's tuition. What I should have paid a decade ago. With interest. Dad, I don't need. I know you don't need it. But I need to give it. Please. I look at the check. At him. At the journey between us. Donate it to a scholarship fund. For students whose parents can't or won't help. His eyes water. That's perfect. We set up the scholarship together, the Carter Foundation for Self-Made Students. It funds 50 students a year who are working their way through college alone. My dad manages it personally. It becomes his redemption project. We don't talk about those lost years much. The hurt doesn't disappear. But we move forward. Separately successful. Together reconciled. He wanted to teach me to earn things myself. Mission accomplished. I built companies worth more than everything he created. But more importantly, I built a life on my own terms. He refused to pay for my college. So I built an empire that could have bought his business 10 times over. Not to prove him wrong, though that was satisfying. To prove myself right. That I could do it. Alone. Without his help. Without his approval. And ironically, that's probably the one lesson he meant to teach that actually stuck. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's building something so undeniable that even your biggest doubter has to acknowledge it. Thanks, Dad. For nothing. And for everything. Because your refusal taught me that the only person I needed to believe in me was myself. And that lesson was worth more than any tuition payment ever could have been. What an incredible journey. Thanks for watching till the end. Please let us know in the comments where you tuned in from. We absolutely love hearing from our amazing global audience. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up if Alex's story inspired you. Share this with someone who's building their dream without support. And hit that notification bell so you catch all our future stories. Remember, the people who refuse to support your education today will watch you build empires they never imagined tomorrow. Keep building. Keep proving yourself right. Keep becoming exactly what they said you couldn't afford to be. See you in the next one.